Hey everyone, today we're looking for some more weeds. I'm down here at Brighton LeSands beach. This is a good beach to look for weeds because it's not too built up. So there's lots of plants growing everywhere. So here is a wild cabbage, or a brassica. That's what the flowers look like. That's the seed pods there. This plant's a relative of broccoli, as you can see here in the flower buds. And it's also a relative of kale. You can kind of see the resemblance, especially in taste. I'm going to take some leaves, and I'm also going to take some of these stems. They're not edible, but I've got a use for them later. This is a beach mustard. You can see the 4-petal flowers there. It's got these little succulent looking leaves. The flavour is pretty strong and a bit spicy. Most people say it's like mustard or like rocket. I think it also tastes a bit like Japanese shiso. It's definitely getting up there on the stinky aromatic vegetable scale, so I only took a few. Right next door, something else growing. It's a native spinach. I'll just take a little bit. This big plant looks like the brassica from before, but it's actually a sea radish. Although they do belong to the same family of plants, you can see the leaves are different. They're a bit spiky, so be careful handling them because they can irritate your skin. All the soft parts of the plant are edible. I'll take a few flowers. Here's another one that's close to death. I'm going to pull it out so I can show you this. This is the best part of the plant in my opinion. That's the part I want. Here's another one. These things are everywhere on the beach. They're a noxious weed, so you don't have to feel bad about pulling them out. And we can't go to the beach without getting some of this. This is seaweed, of course. Sargassum. There's about 300 species of sargassum around the world. They're all edible. In fact, most brown seaweeds are edible. There's only a few rare exceptions. Just make sure it's fresh enough. If it's not, just toss it back. Later on I found a better one. You just want to make sure there's nothing growing on them, such as algae. So see that the colour is good and the smell is okay, to make sure they're not rotten. But this is a nice one. A couple extra tips for foraging at the beach. Try not to pull anything out from where the sand meets the vegetation, because you can contribute to coastal erosion like here. And if you got time, take 3 for the sea. Alright, we've got enough. Let's go home. So we're going to wash our seaweed and then give it a long rinse in some warm water. We can wash the rest of our stuff too. We're also going to wash one fish. I picked a freshwater trout, but you can use whatever fish really. I just picked this one because I thought it was the most ethically sourced option at my shop. So we're going to marinate it in a bit of rice wine and a bit of vinegar to prevent oxidation and get rid of the fishy smell. Let's get these strands and take off the seed pods until we've got some nice ropes. And we can throw all our seed pods in some boiling water. After a couple of minutes, take them out. We can blanch our leaves. All they need is about 30 seconds. Now in a hot pan, I've got some coriander seeds and some Szechuan peppercorns. I'm stirring them around on high heat. And when you see these little bits of oil here coming out, that's how you know they're ready. Let's crush them up. Until they're a coarse powder. Now let's process these roots. Take off all these extra bits. We just want to work with this taproot. The white part's the tasty part. So here's what we got. Let's cut up some ginger. And a few garlics. So we got sea radish, spice powder, and put in our ginger and garlic. I'm also putting in some Sichuan hot bean paste, or doubanjiang, and some hoisin sauce. This paste has 3 different types of heat in it. We've got the hot radish, Szechuan pepper, and the chili from the bean paste. So here's our seaweed. As you can see, it's started to turn a bit green after soaking. I'm just checking it over to make sure there's no debris in it. It's probably inconsequential, but I'm just taking out little bits. You can see these nematodes here. So we'll just give that a rough chop. And put it into our vegetable water. With the heat on, we're going to add some Shaoxing wine and a bit of Korean soy sauce. I'm also putting in some chicken stock. But if you've got fish stock, that might be more complementary. For a lighter soup, you can just use a bit of salt. After it's boiled, we can skim off some of this foam. It's just gunk that's come out of the seaweed. Alright, so we've got our vegetable ropes here. We can just put our fish on top. Get our spice paste and put it inside the fish. Put a bit outside too. Here we've got our leaves plus some onion flowers. Then we can start tying up these strands. So here's our seaweed boiling away. Let's take one egg, pour it in while stirring continuously, and just pour it slowly. That'll give you nice silky strands. So into the hot oil goes the fish. After a few minutes, I'm going to turn it over. You can give it anywhere from 3 minutes to 5 minutes per side, depending how you like it. Or even longer if you like it well done. Alright, soup's ready. Let's just add some green onions. And there you have it. It goes really well with rice, this recipe. It's surprisingly not too hot, but it's got a lot of flavour. Just watch out for bones. The soup's surprisingly rich. This is because seaweed contains naturally occurring MSG, so it has a lot of umami. Alright, that's all. If you try out this recipe, let me know how you go. Thanks for watching.